What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So, from a leader that looks like a zombie from The Last of Us, from the Hulk being reduced to a cameo, the Red Hulk, I mean, Falcon becoming Captain America, not knowing what to do, him not taking the super soldier serum, and us having to deal with the aftermath and backlash. So, Falcon, let me remind y'all, he's only had a few appearances in the Avengers movies. He's never been an emphasized character. He had his own series on Disney Plus that was The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That show, barely any people watched it. Barely any people remember it. I'm one of the few people that watched it. I liked it. I know it went through a couple of changes because a couple of real life events were matching up with what they wanted to do in the beginning. So they changed it up, and it turned out to not make sense, and it seemed lackluster. And I promise you guys that I'm doing my best to try and invest in these characters and to try and put my time into these characters. But whenever Marvel is putting out projects that make it seem like they don't care about their fan base, that's what gets to me. And that's what gets me mad. And it's not me ranting, it's just me talking about how I don't understand how the fan base can even be like, oh, well, yeah, this was good about the movie. This was no, you don't have to pick and choose. And by the title of this video, you've probably already, found out that this video is about Captain America Brave New World, and this is going to be my review, and it's going to be a spoiler review. So if you don't want to get the movie spoiled for yourself, if you haven't watched the movie, which I'm surprised because the movie's been out for the whole weekend, this is your warning now that this is going to be a spoiler review. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna get started in the cons of things. I'm also gonna talk about the positives and the things that I liked, but I feel like it's really important to get out of the way the things that I didn't like because it is a lot. I didn't like that Bucky's cameo felt like a cameo. It felt like the speech that he was in. It felt forced. They gave them a whole show together. Why not put them in at least one action sequence together? And I understand that people are like, oh, they're trying to save them for the Thunderbolts. They're trying to save the super soldiers for the Thunderbolts, and I understand that. But one fight wouldn't hurt. And one fight like the Civil War scene, whenever the whole team was fighting with each other, and in the beginning, whenever Sokovia Accord started, whenever Wanda blew up the whole building and it tied into the story, that's what I want these movies to feel like again. I want them to feel connected, and I want them to feel like they have a part in this broader MCU, not just placeholders for the next big thing to come. And that's what this movie felt like. It felt like a placeholder because, like I said, it had a couple of cool things. It had the Red Hulk, it also had a Bucky cameo, it also had the new Falcon, Joaquin Phoenix, coming in and getting introduced. And that's another aspect of it that I feel like these characters didn't feel like actual characters besides Falcon in this movie. And I understand that it went through a lot of changes because once again, it fell with a lot of like real life aspects of like things happening, in the real world, and they had to change it up. And it's Marvel denying it and saying, no, this didn't happen. That's what gets me, man. That's what gets the fans, man. The fans that are listening, that are, hearing all these scoops, hearing all these leaks about the movie not doing this, not doing that, characters being removed, them leaving the most, lackluster characters on in the film, like the Widow character. I feel like that character wasn't needed at all, and I feel like that character was a waste of screen time every time I saw her. I saw the Den of Nerds point out that she wasn't physically imposing, and that didn't make me feel anything. And it's different with like Black Widow actually taking the time to actually train for these movies, for actually like, putting in the work and getting these parts. And I feel like nowadays they're just letting anyone in the MCU. And it's not bashing towards the actors. I really haven't seen any other actor in this movie besides, Brave New World. I've seen Harrison Ford. Obviously, he's Indiana Jones. But even his character got reduced to a glorified cameo because we all knew the Red Hulk was coming, and the movie emphasized on the Red Hulk coming. And we liked it, and I liked the movie for what it was, but them emphasizing on the Red Hulk and the marketing, putting the Red Hulk all over the marketing, and then making it really obvious, that those few scenes that they were showing in the trailers were the only few scenes that the Red Hulk was going to be president, then, I don't know what Marvel's doing. And everyone in the fandom is pointing out that they didn't have to do this before. They didn't have to convince the audience that this movie was going to be good by showing their whole movie in the trailer. They used to show us bits and give us excited. get us excited for what's to come. Endgame, Infinity War, those movies really set the bar for what the MCU was supposed to be. And even if, fans like myself, that those movies aren't exactly my favorite movies in the MCU, I love the feeling that they brought to it. I love the feeling that they brought with it, the excitement that they brought to the fans, because those movies really like were legacy movies, because I saw how many records they broke, throughout the years. I watched these movies. I started with Iron Man, the Toby movies, and most of the time I feel like I have to repeat myself and say these things twice, but I just don't know where they're heading, and I don't know where the MCU or how the MCU is going to look like after Doomsday, after Secret Wars, after all the hype is over, because I don't want the Mutant Saga to be, this lackluster event that is only for kids and just for kids, because we grew up watching the X-Men. We grew up reading Hickman's stories on them. We grew up watching Secret Wars. We grew up on all these characters interacting with each other. I want them to get Scott right. I want them to give them this team dynamic. I want them to get a Charles that, gives out this aura of him knowing everything and him being able to read minds and him having that confidence in the room where it's like, hey, I can take this situation and solve it in a matter of seconds, but I'm giving you the option to work with me. And that's what I want to see with the X-Men. I don't want them to get reduced to these characters with two lines, a few quips, and nothing but jokes. I want them to feel like real people, and that's what I want for these upcoming sagas, and that's why I'm so disappointed in this movie. I'm disappointed that the movie reduced the leader to a cameo as well, and I feel like his calls were really dumb, and I can feel the reshoots in this movie and them denying the fact that it was more than, a few reshoots. Giancarlo Esposito saying that he was going back for a few reshoots, the week that he was shooting reshoots, um, and them just saying that it wasn't like that and that this movie was exactly what they wanted to make. That's what gets me mad, because I heard the leaks, I heard the scoops, and I could understand them if they're like, hey, we had problems, this and that, but them trying to convince us that this is part of the plan is what worries me. Because if this is what they were planning, if this is the plan from the start, then where are we gonna go from here? Where is the main fandom gonna end up? That's what I want to know. And if they have any sense or any care towards the original fandom, they're gonna change stuff up. And I've been saying the same things, and it's like the Den of Nerds said. I keep on referencing this guy because we have a lot of similar takes. Not saying we're the same person, but we have a lot of similar takes. And I knew that this movie was gonna be this way. I knew that there was a couple of projects that were gonna be, a bit trash before we got to the actual good stuff. But getting here and being here and having these projects out and them being the way that they were exactly described is what hurts, you know, because I don't want them to be this way. I want them to be good. I want to come back and get on this mic and just talk about and geek out and just, go through everything that I loved about the recent movie. And that hasn't happened recently. And I feel like it's not going to happen for a while, and I just want it to happen with these movies coming up, Secret Wars, Doomsday. I don't want it to just be like, oh yeah, look, RDJ, he's back and he's Doom. No, I want RDJ to give that Doom aura out. I want him to be Doom. I want him to be Victor Von Doom and represent everything that comes with his character, not just the bullet points that Marvel feels like they have to hit before Secret Wars. Okay, so yeah, that's my take on Brave New World. Thank you so much for anyone that's watching my review. I'm sorry if you expected me to geek out from this movie. I'm sorry if you expected me to have, awesome review about the movie. Like I said, there was a couple of things that I liked. I liked the Hulk scenes. I liked the leader. I feel like he was good with what he was given. I feel the same about Falcon. I feel the same about Harrison Ford. They all killed their roles, with what they were doing in the movie, but I know this wasn't a good movie. So I'm not gonna excuse Marvel for whatever is happening behind the scenes and stuff. I know they've pulled through before, made really bad movies good, and I want them to be the same. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. Like I said, if you relate to me, subscribe, leave a like, and yeah, just be on the lookout for more videos. I'm gonna be making videos on Spider-Man, you know, the new series coming out. I've been doing videos on that recently. They haven't been getting views, but I mean, I really like that series, and I'm not gonna let go of it. So I'll probably pick it back up whenever it ends, and I'll start making more videos on that. But yeah, for anyone watching, thank you so much. You know, it's been your boy Rojo. Peace.
Nosotros somos de barrio, ahora somos los dueños de la esquina.